Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. I just love when, yes, I'm starting straight out of the bat on this one. I like when you call a business and you talk to somebody and they say, we need to transfer you. And you're like, okay. And you're waiting patiently and they hang up in your face after a minute or two. And you're like, well, you know what, people, I'm not calling back. Have a nice day, because if you hang up in my face, I'm not wasting my time. This is not how I want to have my day going. I just want my day to go peacefully. I do not need to be irritated. This is what happened during eclipse month. Everything can go be upside down. Even stalkers actually can pop around again physically, just stalking you in the woods. It's very interesting. A little interesting story. I had a feeling yesterday, actually, late, and it's at night, that somebody was around where I am. And not a lot of people know where I am, actually. So that's telling you something, like my privacy. And I had the fans going on, so I could not hear anything actually at that moment. And it happened that caught on cameras, there was somebody who drove down. It is very creepy when you feel you're being observed and you have that hairy feeling that somebody is watching. This is extremely uncomfortable and it's pitch dark. And you're like, okay, it is not what we want. So, but that's interesting. So, back to our podcast. This is the kind of things that sometimes you have to listen to your feeling, because it happened actually today that I had a conversation with one of the monks, and they told me there was a truck that stopped by, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, for what time? I'm like, oh, that was about the time I was thinking somebody was watching me. So, you know this song, I feel like so somebody watching me. Yeah, a song from the 80s, by the way. Yeah, it is not something you want, but who knows? That's fine. Nobody did anything. There is no harms done, because I still have 3 dogs, but I'm more dangerous than my dogs. So we're good. But that's something that to me is unbelievable, when you are looking at your own privacy, doing what you need to do for your own life, then you have stalkers. It's the same online. It's the same what people put their nose. Was it yesterday or the day before I said the word of the day should be mind your own business? This is what it should be. Mind your freaking own business, people. Stop putting your nose where it doesn't belong. Thank you. Lulu agreed. Yeah, you agree with that, Lulu? Yeah, 100%. And he's staring at me like, yes, we agree with that. Why do people waste their time to see what others are doing? Who cares? If it's not your purview, mind your own business. I noticed that when I was studied in corporation, and I was a contractor, and I've been both contractor and permanent. I like my contracting job better than my permanent. But, and the reason is for permanent is I do not like the political game and kiss. We're going to keep it kiss my shoes, to be polite. But seriously, observing people spending their time, what time is that person coming? And that person doesn't do anything. That person, I'm like, wow, you're wasting your time to look at everybody else's. Don't you have a job to do? If you do your job, if you mind your own business, you can accomplish so much more. Why would you spend your time to look at what the neighbors has? It doesn't matter if he has a 10 times bigger road than you are. Who cares? He's maybe more in debt than you are, but you're going to put yourself in debt because you want to compete with them? Oh, yo. People, mind your own business. So much time you get back when you mind your own business. Nobody is asking you to be perfect. I am not perfect. Nobody is perfect. We're all perfect in our own ways. But mind your freaking own business. Living your life through others. Always putting your nose where it doesn't belong. Thinking you know everything. And be I would say disrespectful. Maybe learn mindfulness could be a good thing because not everybody works the same way. Not everybody do things the same way. And I learned to let, and that's what good leadership is to let people do their job. If they need to be modified because they make it harder, then we change and modify the process to lean the way things are. But if you come up with some idiotic ideas that makes life 10 times harder, what's the point? They create a new job for users experience, internal and external. It's not only about the customer experience, but it's about the users, the stakeholders experience. If you're looking at things in a way to how do we simplify it from a complicated system to get things done, to lean it and simplify it by maybe using AI, maybe simplifying the processes and the way we think about how do we do our job. Just simplify it. Doesn't mean we're going to cut your job out. We're going to simplify your job to make it easier so you can do something else as well. I always, when I worked on project, always put myself in a position where what can I automate it? Then I don't have to do it. So I can do something else. And I expand all of my jobs. That's why I oh my God, I go, I. Oh, good lordy. This is why I have so much knowledge, because instead of sitting in my chair and repeating things that doesn't make any sense, I have been able to actually accomplish everything I needed and some more. But I always said, if you're not here, what else or how can I automate it so to make it as simple for everybody else's? This is what you do when you put in that position and not freaking out because somebody is going to take your job. Because if you live in fear, then somebody is going to take your job. Guess what's going to happen? Somebody is going to take your job because you're sending it to the universe. Look at how simplifying your life, even your personal life. How much time do you spend to snoop at everybody else's life instead than working on something you would like to accomplish? Instead of spying on your friends or your frenemies or whatever. Seriously, if you have children and they are growing up, how much time do you spend to try to tell them what they're supposed to do in their life, and you're wrecking their life and their relationship because you put your nose in there? Back off. Mind your own business. And people get offended. Oh, you mean? No, I'm not. Mind your own business. You get time that you would normally spend everywhere else, wasted time to something else. When you mind your own business, when you move in silence, oh my God, life is so good. And people can guess, and who gives a crap? Mind your own business, stay in your lane, do whatever you want, be happy. And if the others are jealous about what you do, then you know what? Tell them, mind your own business, and guess what? You can get more things done, and life will be better for you, and you will not be jealous and angry. We're watching things that has been happening for the past, 5 years? I'm not going to name names, but we see this because it's all over the news, and every time somebody do something from England, you got those ding dong from La La Land who has to compete. How pathetic is this when you're looking at this and like, wow, you're wasting that amount of time for what? For nothing. You're wasting your time to compete for something that doesn't work. I have seen it in corporation. I worked in billion-dollar corporation, and the other company that was at the head of them had a CEO actually that had a better vision than what they had in the company where I was. And the way they did is they always picked up the crumbs. So if the company was going one way, then they would follow them like a bunch of puppies, thinking that, oh, well, we're going to go like they're doing it. Instead, then separating themselves and really show where they wanted to go next. They had no innovation at that level. The others changed their portfolio and expanded their portfolio in such a way it was very interesting to watch. But that leadership had no freaking clue and they missed the mark. Their product for the company I work with was way better than the other one. But the difference was they had a better CEO who had a better vision. Think about for a minute of, I'm going to take Apple. Yes, I know, I'm an Apple girl. But still, think about Steve Jobs. Never give a crap about any competition. He innovated based on what he felt and got the support of the other co-founders as well. But he was really the mind of the creation when they started it. That is why it's still going strong and will still go strong, because he brought a different culture in place. In innovation, he really saw his vision. Now, do you think Samsung's going to come up with something different with the phone? No, they're trying. Oh yeah, they did the one that closed off, which I will never want, because I'm like, no, I'm not an Android person, which is fine. Everybody have their own dooley bobbers. But think about the others. They've been chasing after every single innovation they're doing. Then they go back to the drawing board. They're waiting when Apple's going to drop their baby every single time. And they're going to say, okay, what can we do better? And they're going to try to engineer back, figure it out how they did things. Again, trademark, things like that. They cannot reproduce, blah, blah, blah. But they're going to see how it goes, what they come with the innovation, and they're going to try to go to the drawing board and try to compete. Is it what you really want to do? Chasing? I don't want to chase. I don't chase. I do not chase. I attract, which is different. Think about what you're doing. Do you chase? Or do you attract? Do you use your uniqueness? Or you're like a little lamb following everybody? What do you do? That would be a good question. What do you do? As I said, I don't chase. So think about where you are in your life. Think about where do you want to accomplish. Think about the time you're wasting doing things that is not for your highest good, because it doesn't make you move forward. How often have you seen people full of resentment, spewing with venom because they feel others are different and they feel like a threat, because they feel like they are smaller than their chip. And it's like, why would you let your insecurity, your ego tell you something wrong? We're all unique. You're going to find people that are 10 times brighter than you, have more interesting life than you do, because they live their life to the fullest. If you don't, and if you're unhappy, then go back to the drawing board, sit down and say, those are my dreams. Write it down and get it started. Yes, it's scary, but you have a choice. Or you spew your venom and be sour because others living their life to the fullest, or you're gonna look at them through a window, a glass window, and just, I wish it was me. Well, get your wish and do your own things, but mind your stinking business. Your life, you have one here. You don't have 10,000 waiting for you here. It is your time to accomplish what you're supposed to be accomplishing. Live your life. Discover what you want to do in your life. Nobody is stopping you to go back to school past 50. Nobody is asking you to do not become a business owner past 50 years old. There is no limit for anyone. You create your own limit. It's not because the standard, quote unquote, that what the rest of the cohort wants, you have to follow it. You have the beat of your own drums. Use it. Stop to be a lamb. Stop complaining. Get things going. And mind your own business. Much, much more relaxing than putting your nose into somebody else's business and complaining about anything and everything. Think about it. So, look at the life you're living. Look at what you like. Look at what you don't like. Look at what you would like to get to move out of it or move on from, and start to do the job. Not that easy? Yeah, not that easy. But you know what? It's better to be by yourself than be in bad company. It's better to be by yourself in enjoying life to be drama free. It's way better to really look at the life we're living in and realizing that this is not the way we want it. So I don't know. I like to mind my own business. I love to have a full moment of peace knowing that I do not want to hear anyone's lies, anyone's drama, because remember, there is two sides of the story. I've heard side of a story that to me was like, okay, well, that sounds bad. And realizing that the perpetrator and the victim, or who played the victim, wasn't the victim because that victim was as nasty than the husband is. But she is a coveted narcissist. I'm telling you this. I walked away from that situation because I don't want to hear about this kind of drama. I don't care. It's not my monkey, it's not my circus. If you're not happy, move along. Otherwise, if you swim in your own crap and then you stand there because I'm not going to go and join you. Look at what your life is. Make the right changes professionally, personally, and stop saying, oh no, it's not possible because this, because that's your ego. Oh, my ego. I said that on several podcasts. When I started my own business, my ego gave me all of the freaking excuses in the world to do not start it. And the universe kicked my butt and said, this is not happening. Let's moving forward with this one. Freedom comes when you really realize what you want. And freedom comes with peace of mind. You can only have peace of mind if you mind your own business. That is one of the key. And be mindful. But mindfulness is something people need to learn because some of them want to use the word mindfulness, are navigating thinking they are mindful when they are not. But that's a different story for another day. So all my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast. Universe Podcast.